I need some storytelling music, and it's like, I would say it's like vaguely Western, like a psychedelic Western, kind of like this place, you know what I mean? Like, okay, so the first time, alright, so this is basically what happened. I turned 40 a while back, and I had a birthday party in New York City with my New York City friends, and in Vermont where I live, and I also threw it out to a few of my LA friends, and I was like, I want to have a party in LA, and we decided that we were going to take a little posse and come out here to Joshua Tree and rent a really fucking weird Airbnb and hang out in Joshua Tree and get weird and hang out at Pappy and Harriet's, because I've been hearing about this place forever, and I was like, that's what I want to do to celebrate this whole new decade. It's like, what a weird, crazy place. So we rent this Airbnb, and the guy's name is Benoit, and he's like, meet me at Pappy and Harriet's, and I will give you the key. And so it's like 10 o'clock at night, the GPS doesn't work, and we're not totally sober. I mean, like the driver's sober, I'm not at all. And I'm like, play it cool, and I'm really not very sober. And I walk in, and on this very stage, there's like a lesbian steampunk band covering like Johnny Cash or something, and I'm like, this is the most beautiful place I've ever seen in my life. There was no way that, like, every expectation had been met within the first 13 seconds of me walking into this place. So we get the keys, we leave, we go to our weird Airbnb, which is a whole other story. And we come back the next day, and it's me and some friends from New York, like, moved to LA, we're sitting, we're eating, and this woman's like kind of like assuredly serving us, and we're trying to like figure out, we're trying to engage her, but she's like, you know how the people who work here, like, they deal with a lot of bullshit, you know what I mean? So they're just like, they don't want to chit chat, they want to get your ribs and keep going. There's a lot of people who come through here. But my friends are very gregarious, and they're like, so, what's the deal? And they're like, and she's like, come on, man, just let me do my job. And eventually it kind of slows down. And she's like, yeah, well, you know, we're from New York. And the woman, and they're like, oh, well, where are we in New York? She goes, West Village. She goes, where in West Village? And she goes, well, I lived on Leroy Street. And they're like, what number Leroy? And she's like, 480. And they're like, what apartment number? She's like, 312. And they were like, 415. So, all right. So now we're in, right? And now when she sits down, it's this whole New York reuniting moment. I'm totally dying because this is my favorite place of all time. So we're sitting down, she's sitting down. Okay, so she's talking the whole thing. Now, we gotta put a pin in this part because there's a second part of the story. So, part of my whole crew in LA is like these weirdo like creative people. They're like writers and directors and actors and actresses, and they're just like a whole slew of like just total fucking weirdos. And part of what I like about these guys is they would occasionally take these crazy trips. Like, they would rent a school bus and dress up in all white and go to the horse race and call themselves the Cult of Terry. And it was just this like, this really insane creative expression, and they would do this all over the world, and it was really a very beautiful thing. And one of the things is like, my buddy told me that one time as a goof, he's obsessed with Pioneertown. They all dressed up, like 100 people dressed up like pirates, and came to Pioneertown. And then they came to Pappy and Harriet's. And so, okay, so now we're back to the other story. I told you I don't really know how to tell this, but I think I'm doing a good job. So then, so we're talking to the ladies, it's one of the couple of the ladies that own this, and I was like, hey, I have a weird question. I was like, do you ever remember like a bunch of pirates showing up in a school bus? And she looked at me, and her like jaw dropped, and she goes, that's why we bought this place. Okay, so here's the backstory. She said, so there were a couple, and they were in New York, and they were like, we've been in New York forever, we heard about this biker bar, and they came out here, and they were kind of hemming and hawing, they're like, should we buy it? We don't know what to do. And they wasn't really sure what to do. And she's like, we were sitting there, and all of a sudden, 100 people dressed like pirates walked in the front door, and we're like, we're definitely buying this place. And that's kind of the story, except that the punchline is that guy is my friend Pete, and he's right over there in the red shirt. So please, give it up for Pete Hike, the reason that we might be here tonight. This is a 100% true story. And it's one of my favorite stories. And it just makes this place even more weird and wonderful, and it's just such a joy that a fucking creative outlet exists like this in the middle of nowhere. And I just want to celebrate all things so fucked up like this. So thank you for being here. And thank you, Pete Height, for making this place happen.